Hello, everyone. So here we are on my desktop, and what we're going to be talking about is cybersecurity awareness because it is October, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As you can see, I'm ready with Michael Myers with Halloween. So we are in a Halloween season. So what I wanted to do is put together a little video. And actually, while I have that going, I want to actually open up something over here because I have some stuff written down, but I wanted to try to put some of that written up stuff into a slide. And I made some modifications. I found the slide and I made some mods or whatever, just to make it seem very user friendly and understandable and easy to digest. So if you guys are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. If you guys are returning, let's have some fun. So the first one here, and we're going to be getting into the agenda, right? What is the agenda of this video? And like I said, I have about 10 ways to protect yourself. I wrote up really quick, but then I was like, okay, let me put something together that's a little more uh, presentable, right? So you can just do something like a little presentation or whatever this is. So, all right, so the state of cybersecurity and the current cybersecurity attacks, there's many ways. Obviously from like the MGM hack that happened recently with the phishing, they called in the help desk, they impersonated someone, and so on and so forth. So if they were educated on phishing and phishing voice, they wouldn't have gotten so far in and impersonated that person. So you got phishing, emails, scams, ransomware, a social engineering, which I love. I love social engineering attacks. How to protect yourself, and at the end, obviously, the questions and answers. This is not live, so you can ask me any questions in the comments below, and I can be sure to answer whatever you may have. Right. So let's go to the next one here. So the current state of cybersecurity, right? Phishing attacks are still the number one attack. Phishing, now, like I said, calling in, impersonating, and all that stuff. Like, this is fine. This is a little picture I got off the internet. I just put it in here just to make it a little goofy. This place is on fire. This guy's like, it's just fine, right? So, ransomware, obviously, that is always going to be rising because the objective of any kind of hack is to get some kind of reinforcement or money out of it, right? So ransomware attacks are still on the rise. Social engineering is the leading attack vector for scams, right? So social engineering, calling up, just manipulating the human element and taken for granted, right? So the cost of cybersecurity attacks, there's millions and millions. I just like went online, copied and pasted some, and just call it a day, right? So you have, I think the latest one, I didn't even put that in here, did I? No, for the MGM hack, right? I think they paid out $15 million. So there's always a big cost, and companies losing if they don't have their blue team up to par, right? So the next thing here is phishing attacks, right? So you can email, remember like the whole COVID-19 vaccines, that was a big one, right? Phishing, computer technician calls to fix a virus on your computer or calls in because they needed to reset a password. And then you can just, impersonate someone and so on and so forth. So then back down here is smishing. So like SMS, text messaging, and to claim that whatever, I put a tax refund. Or you can do it as, oh, your Amazon package is going to be arriving. Click on this link to check check whatever status. And meanwhile, it's going to connect to a CNC server and you're going to get hacked. All right. So some phishing examples just to look out for. Subject lines, the eagerness, right? The urgent, being so urgent, like, hey, right now, please click on this link or else, blah, blah, blah. So you can actually see in here, there's some, email that, has been tagged as external source confirming. Pretty much it's saying, okay, this can be spoofed. Please don't click on it. So on and so forth. So yeah. And the next one here, we can see spelling errors in the sender's address, the email signature, the email subject line, requesting financial and personal information, signatures, thank you, whatever. And it's so easy. I made a video on this, like, I think about Amazon, like how to create different kinds of links and how people do it, how people scam, right? You have to be so careful. And this is what it's all about, right? Educating. And yeah. So another one is ransomware, right? This is a little picture of Google. Please review attachment. And then it says secure via Dropbox. So the type of malware that encrypts data, specifically asking for a payment to get it restored, right? So if I want to encrypt your data, say, okay, buy me New York Rangers hockey tickets, and that's the only way you're going to get your data back. I wouldn't even ask you for money. I'll just say, buy me tickets. So I'm just kidding. But so how did I do this? Email attachments, website downloads, email links, website links. So how do you protect yourself, right? Make sure you're always backing up, right? Regular backups, backup daily, updates, verify emails, don't pay. So if you, God forbid, your company gets ransomware, if you have a good backup, you can restore that backup and, on your file server, whatever they attacked, and you can go from there. Why is cybersecurity or why is cyber awareness important, right? Why is October important month for us cybersecurity professionals? Everything is everything is connected. What does that mean? Excuse me. Anything on the internet, your phone, your tablet, your computer, your laptop, your web server, anything that you're accessing this video today, you're connected to a network, right? So personal documents, right? Your social, maybe PII at your company, maybe you're an insurance firm, maybe you're a hospital, maybe you're a law firm, maybe you're whatever. You may have personal identifiable information for your clients, right? You want to make sure all that stuff is protected. Identity, finances, digital footprint, right? All this stuff is super important. So passwords. So long and strong passphrases enable MFA, change the default passwords, and you always use a password manager, right? And LastPass is free. Updates, make sure all your updates are at the latest and greatest, right? Today, I think there was a new 0 day for the iPhone, right? I think now it's up to what? I don't even want to look. 17.0.3, I think. Turn on, I don't have my automatic updates on. That's just me. But obviously stay up to date with your automatic updates. The reason being because I don't do it because what if there's an update that breaks something that's connected to my computer or my iPhone or whatever. So make time for updates, right? Make sure, okay, if it's a software update your machine and then whatever, your phone after hours and make sure you're all good to go, right? Spring clean your apps regularly. I don't do that. I'm going to be honest. Like, I just built a new machine. It's back there. I need to hook it up very soon. And I'm a little nervous because I have to get all this stuff set back up. But yeah. So be aware of spam, right? Spam, scams, the whole shebang. Like phishing emails, phishing, phone calls, text messages. So just look out for something that's urgent, asking for personal information, financial information, unsolicited, contains links or downloadable files, right? Bad grammar. All right, that's bad because I have bad grammar. Hopefully people are like, oh, that's probably spam. That's probably why I don't get emails back. But it's true, but not true. Too good to be true, right? What if something is like, oh, here's $1 million. Please click today to win a new Ferrari. It's probably BS, right? So search yourself, right? Digital footprint. See, like, look on have you been pwned? Look on these, breach databases. Look up for your email. See if your password has been breached. Privacy control, like control your own privacy, right? Be mindful of what you share and who you share it with, right? Review app policy collection. So, like, if you have any policy and privacy, app privacy collection. But I was thinking policy as well, because if you have a policy at work, whatever, ouch. And, you can review that as well. So creating a cyber secure home checklist. So say, for example, for your home, are your devices secure? Say, for example, your iPhone, right? Make sure you have a password on your iPhone. You can't just swipe up and get into your phone. Use a VPN to access, university systems, work systems, whatever kind of systems that you're trying to connect to. Make sure you're, using a VPN. Be aware of public free Wi-Fi. And do you have a antivirus or EDR or something like that installed on your machine? Am I backing up my important files to the cloud, to local? Are my devices all up to date? We just talked about. Enable MFA, two-factor authentication, and then stop before you click. Look at what you're doing before you click on it. All right. How can how can you help? Anything that happens with you, make sure you're consulting with your cybersec team or your opsec team or whatever you want to talk to, or talk to someone that's more savvy than you. Okay. So yeah, I think there's more helpful websites. You can spam watch, stay safe, stay smart online, SANS, security awareness blogs. There's so many different ones online. And thank you. So now we're just going to I'm going to jump on my face, and then we can continue with some stuff I wrote up. Thank you. All right, guys. So it's probably going to sound repetitive, but I want to go over this as well. So I wrote some stuff down when I actually thought about this, and I was like, okay, what can we talk about for Cybersecurity Awareness Month? Excuse me. And, a few ways you can protect yourself, right? Because it's all about awareness, right? So I have here, don't use weak passwords, right? Say, for an example, don't use your kid's name, your dog's name, something that someone can know about you, right? And like I said, social engineering is key. I've gotten passwords. I experimented with friends, with family members, and I was able to get their password by the end of that conversation. And yeah, so be cautious of clicking on suspicious links. If it looks fishy or funny or smelly or whatever you want to call it, don't click on it, And don't ignore software updates. Make sure your stuff is all up to date, right? I know me personally, I said this, just a few seconds ago. I don't like to reboot my machine, right? So I'll reboot once a week because I have so many things open, VMs, something else doing something else, and I have so many things going on. So like rebooting my machine, having everything open again, it's a pain in the butt. So yeah, don't be like me, guys. And so make sure you're always up to date on your software. And be careful. Like I said, public Wi-Fi. You can, if you see someone at the airport in a hoodie sitting in the corner looking weird, maybe report them, or just like, hey, don't connect to nothing that says, hey, connect to me for free. The airport is, I'm going to say it. It's a fun spot for fun things to happen, right? So you can set up a Wi-Fi pineapple. You can set up this little flipper with the dev board and just have, there's so many things you can do. I don't want to get into that right now, but just make sure you make sense of what you're doing, right? I know a lot of this might sound like common sense, but you'll be surprised. Don't share any sensitive information. Don't share passwords. Don't share usernames, whatever. Like it might be tempting because maybe your daughter, or maybe your son, or maybe your mom, dad, etc., wants you to, say for an example, hey, I don't want to pay for Netflix. So I know my buddy has Netflix and I have Hulu. Okay, so I can give you my Netflix password, or what did I just say? Whatever. I can give my information to him. He can give his information to me, so we can exchange TV programs, right? And what if that guy gives me his password, and his password is password 23 or password 2023, for an example, and maybe that's the same password that he uses for his bank information or whatever information. So just be careful. Don't neglect backups. Make sure I don't know if you can see down there, I have a NAS. I back up every night. That's something I learned my lesson, but MFA, multi-factor authentication, another one. I know it's a pain in the ass. I know it's a pain in the butt, but trust me, it's one more layer of security and it's worth it. And this is when I put on, don't leave your devices unattended. Don't leave them just willy-nilly, because you will be in trouble. I got in trouble, right? I'll give you a little story. It was about a year and a half ago. A little person that belongs to me, that person, I was out and about. I think I was throwing the garbage or doing something. It was my daughter. And she was trying to get into my phone and use my phone key or my passcode the same as her mother. And we don't have the same password. So I had it as like, if you had set up as 3 or 5 tries, it wipes my phone out. So what happened? My phone got wiped out. Okay. So, and then it was a whole other thing because now my phone was wiped out. It said English, whatever. I started over. I plugged it into my laptop because this is before I had iCloud. I didn't trust iCloud. So I always backed up my phone every week. And the laptop that I backed my iPhone on didn't boot and I was SOL. So it was not a good time. So anyhow, don't leave your devices unattended. Don't ever install or download any unauthorized programs. That's probably, makes sense. And don't ignore suspicious activity. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's probably repetitive of what I just went through, but these are the things I wrote up and I just wanted to go through this list. And if you have any questions about this, please leave a comment in the description below. And if you have, any insight or any tips or tricks, share it with me because then I can share it with the community and we can all learn together. So hopefully this has been informative for you guys. And I really thank you guys for viewing.